Hi everybody! Today I'm doing a Diary of a Narcissist video and the topic is my ex-narcissist top 5 manipulation tricks. Now narcissists have a whole bag of dirty manipulation tricks and I can go ahead and list them off real quick. These are the ones that I think are the main players, the usual suspects, and out of these I picked the top 5 that I think he used against me the most. And I'm gonna go through them, and maybe a good video would be later on to go through each one independently because you could talk about each one forever, or maybe just to list them all off in a video if I can knock it all out in one video. I don't know. So here we go. The usual suspects would be silent treatment, gaslighting, withdrawal, future faking. There's also word salad or wordsmithing, but I think that kind of works in with gaslighting, so I don't list it off on its own. I think it's like a sub of gaslighting. Triangulation, that's a staple. Blame shifting, smearing or the smear campaign, pity plays, threats, physical violence, social and family ostracization, I think I said that last word right, verbal violence, and belittlement. So out of all those, I picked the top 5 that I think were my ex-narc's favorite to bestow on me, and I was going to go through them with you. So the top 5 that I chose was gaslighting, silent treatment, withdrawal, future faking, and triangulation. So the first one I wrote down was silent treatment, and I believe that there's 2 different forms of silent treatment. There is a present and an absent silent treatment. The present silent treatment is my ex's popular way of bestowing this on me was through the TV time. Every time we would get home from work and we would I'd make dinner or we'd go get something out to eat or whatever, we'd come back home or we're eating dinner at home, he would turn on the TV, and he trained me almost like Pavlov's dog salivated at the ring of the bell. I knew when that TV clicked on after enough treatment, belittlement, whatever, I guess what he did to apply it to me. Triangulation was one of the tools he used to apply this technique and train me to know this. But whenever the TV came on, I knew not to talk, and I knew if I had to say something, it better be important or worthy of him having to lift up his hand, pick up the remote, click pause, take a deep sigh, look at me and say, what now? And would be completely uninterested, not even looking in my direction when I'm telling him what, and I get like a, oh, okay, is that it? And he'd go back. And so it's not like an obvious silent treatment like la 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 la. It's a way that they can kind of justify not having to interact or talk with you. And if you try to tell somebody that, they'd be like, well, good for him or whatever. I try to watch my show too, but yeah, you don't do that every day for day after day, for years after years after years. It has an effect, a disconnection, a disassociation. It has a negative effect. And when I get to triangulation, I'll mention how he intertwined the silent treatment training with the triangulation. Now, the present silent treatment is usually in a short duration. Like he wouldn't do it all day long. It was just during TV time. It was a short duration, and it was supply driven. It was supply driven and also dual purpose, where it would train me and was a form of punishment. So that's the present silent treatment. The absent silent treatment is longer. It's a longer period, but it's also used to produce or to extract supply. It's also used as a form of punishment and training, but it's also used to cultivate a replacement, or to cultivate secondary and tertiary supplies. An example of this for my ex was he would always promise me, as part of like the future faking stuff, that I want to go on a trip, we want to go on a trip together. And as it would come time to take the trip, he would cancel, but then by the luck of it, he'd be able to go fishing with his buddies or something. And it was always like he didn't it was weird. Like whenever he would go, he would like to take these trips fishing by himself with his buddies, but like he would never want me to go, and it was just really weird. And so I really believe that during these fishing trips, he was really going out and taking other girls on the boat or to the coast with him, and cultivating these other relationships. And the other way they'll do the absent type of silent treatment is doing like a breakup type period where you're taking a break or something, and that you don't, not like y'all don't keep in contact. He goes completely MIA for a week straight or something. He's not in a hole in a cave somewhere. No, he's developing another relationship out there. So that's the silent treatment. I think that TV time, because it happens so often, I had to put that on my list as one of my ex-narc's favorite manipulation tricks. It was every day for almost 6 years. And yeah, it was like I felt like I had to take his calls during the day when I was working, because I knew I wouldn't be able to talk to him when we got home from work because he wouldn't talk to me. So it was just, it creates a snowball effect, and it's just, it's an effective manipulation tactic, I would say. The next one that he liked to use a lot was gaslighting, and this is to, it's a form of twisting reality to create doubt of one's own reality and sanity. So it's you get a twofer with it. You know, you twist the events of things, or the recounting of events of things, twist reality, so that the person will question their own reality and their own sanity. So you get a twofer. They don't know if their realities and their sanities are good. So some of the popular things my ex liked to say with me was like, that never happened, or you're crazy, you're crazy. Every time I would accuse him of cheating or think he was cheating, you're crazy, you're crazy. But then I would find out I was actually right, and I wasn't crazy. He was just making me feel like I was crazy. Or a very popular one of his was, you just want to argue, you just want to argue. And another one was whenever I would, you know, have a vivid recount of things and something happened, and I wanted to go talk with him about it and say, hey, you know, you said this, but then this happened, and then, you know, this didn't happen or whatever, and I was just wondering, when are we going to talk about that? I would end up going around and around and around and around with him, and at the end of our conversation, I thought I was going in there looking for an apology of something he did wrong, and I would end up apologizing to him, and I didn't know my butt from my face at the end of the conversation. It's just like, what just happened? And that's that word salad, wordsmithing, where they will just take you around and around and around and talk and talk and talk until and like confuse you, and like on purpose say things incorrect, so you have to correct them, and then you go down a little bunny trail of corrections, and you come back to the main topic, and you just get so confused, and before you know it, you're apologizing to them. That gaslighting stuff was very effective. He did that a lot. The third one, which I think was maybe perhaps the most powerful one, and he also used it a lot, was withdrawal. Withdrawal can mean is anything that applies to you, and this is what, when they're doing the love bombing and they're soaking up everything about you like sponges, this is one of the things that they put in their bag of knowledge about you to use to hurt you later. Withdrawal is what's most important to you, whether it be family, friends, work, sex, money, food, pampering, whatever it is that's most important to you. You know, underwater basket weaving, nude welding, whatever it is that's most important to you, they are gonna like indulge you in it in the love bombing. They're gonna give you so much of it. You're gonna be filled up to your ears with this thing that's so important to you. They're gonna encourage it. They're gonna motivate you. They're gonna be supportive of it. They're gonna be into it with you, and then they will take it away. To bestow and deny is a very powerful manipulation trick. So they find what's most important to you, they let you taste it, and then they deny you of it. And you don't understand why, you know, and you're trying to please them to get back to when they were supportive or part of it, and you can't for nothing get them back into it unless they're in trouble or they've done something wrong, and then they'll give you a little tidbit. But this withdrawal was very effective, and the way my ex did it was with sex. He would go through periods where we would have it like crazy, and then he would deny me of it, and he would just like make up endless excuses. My index finger hurts, I have a cough, my nose is runny, we can't have sex because my big toe hurts, I've got gas, I gotta go to the restroom, when I come back, I'm tired, I'm hungry, let's go eat first and then we'll come back. I have a headache, my right elbow itches. It was like they got ridiculous as excuses. And I think after a while of being like very supportive and understanding, it was just like some of those excuses. Like I really think one time he said his big toe hurt. Like a couple of those I was exaggerating. But I think seriously, I think one of the times he said he couldn't because his big toe hurt or some crap. And it was just like, are you serious? So yeah, withdrawal is a very powerful manipulation tactic. And you will do anything to get them back into supporting, motivating, being part of, being into whatever that was important to you the most, and just trying to get it back with them. It's just to see how you react when they take it away and they get all that supply from it, and seeing how hard you're trying to get them back to being supportive or into it, and you just eat it up like it's sick, but they love it. The next one that he did a lot was future faking, and he was really good at it. And what's interesting, I'll tell you later, just to make a pun on the future faking. What's interesting is they, like the different degrees of narcissists, lesser, mid-range, higher, they will do all these like but differently. Like the lesser is just going through instinct, like I want you, I want to marry you. Like they're not really even thinking what they're saying, they're just going through this instinctual thing. The mid-range will put a little bit more connivingness into it, and he will say something more like, I want to take a trip with you, you know, I'm thinking about this summer, you know, maybe we can go on that fishing trip together, you know, have that fishing tournament and maybe you can go with me, something like that. It's like in the future, but it's a little bit more thought out, and I don't know how to say it, but yeah. He will also say something like, instead of I want to marry you, he'll say I see you as the next Mrs. whatever. I see you as my next wife. Or, you know, go ahead and start looking for that new car for you. The greater narcissist will send you like an email of cars that he's been looking for you, like high price tag card. Hey, take a look at this email I sent you, and see if you like any of those cars, and we can talk about it tonight at dinner. The greater narcissist will just really amp it up and make you really believe it's for real and take it to the next level. He's like Emerald, he really kicks it up a notch. And all of them will use blame shifting to get out of the future faking. So like with my ex-narcissist, he would always say, you know, oh, we're gonna go on that trip, you know, in the future together. I wanna take a trip with you in the summer. And then by the point that he's said it to the time that we're supposed to do it, he would cheat, act like a jerk, do the silent treatment, do the gaslighting, everything. I'd catch him cheating, it would be a mess, and he would blame shift it, or it wouldn't be something really extreme, maybe like cheating, perhaps, maybe, so I don't know, but it was something like he would do something crummy and I'd call him out on it, and he would just turn around and say, oh, you just want to argue, and see, this is the problem, this is why you know, everything's so miserable, and why would I want to go on a trip with somebody like that, you know? And you're like, boom, what? And so that kind of stunk a lot. But the last one is triangulation, and this I think is like the narcissist bread and butter, and it's like they're able to take supply from two people with one act, and it's pretty interesting. Simultaneously, they can take two people's supply with one thing, and it's an easy way for them to like explain cheating. Like with my ex, he would use triangulation a lot, not only with like me and my friends, I mean my family, me and my boys, but he would also use it with the girls that he was cheating on me with, like the one girl that he cheated on with his ex-wife with before me, the one that he was like cheating on for 10 years at work with. Whenever he would come back, he would say like, oh, you know, I tried to give it a try over there, but she's just not like you. Like, she talks during the TV. She doesn't know, like, when my TV's on to be quiet. And she would just yap and yap and yap. And it was so sick. Like, he would actually make me feel happy that I knew not to talk while he was watching his TV. And that's how what he wanted. He was doing all of that intentionally. He was saying that little comment so that I would light up and think, oh, I'm such a good girlfriend pet. I know when to be quiet when he's talking, so that it would reinforce his silent treatment training. And it was just like a whole big snowball of manipulation, mind trickery. So yeah, those are my ex-narc's favorite manipulation tricks, and there's a whole host of them I should go through later. Let me know if you've experienced any of these, what your top 5 have been that you've experienced or that your ex-narc used to like to use on you a lot. I would love to hear in the comments below. And that's it. Please subscribe, and thanks. Have a great day.